Uh, Here we can consider only the real part of the above equation. This is the actual expansion, but we consider only the real part. This is the imaginary part, this is the real part. That's why we consider this part only, this part first term. Okay, then this is the further expansion. What is that expansion? E power j kf a of t means there are two terms. We observe here there are two terms. There are two terms. There are two terms. Okay, a into e power j omega ct into j e power j kf at. Okay, here we expand this term only. This term only. Okay. Okay. So a into e power j omega ct, then e power j kf a of t expands like here, because we have an we have a relation. What is that relation? E power z equal to 1 plus z by 1 factorial and z square by 2 factorial plus z cube by 3 factorial and so on. Okay, this is the one exponential expression or formula. Okay, using that formula, that e power j kf a of t is expand like the 1 plus j kf a of t plus j square kf square a square of t plus 2 factorial and plus j3 kf cube a cube of t by 3 factorial and so on. Okay, now you just see e power j omega ct, you just multiply all with e power j omega ct. You step by step procedure, but there is no not possible here for online classes by step procedure. So here we directly skip some steps. So you just practice step by step procedure in your class notes. The multiplier here, so a into e power j omega ct plus j into kf a of t g e power j omega ct, then minus j square equal to minus 1. We know that relation, j square equal to minus 1. That's why minus k square a square of t 2 factorial into j omega e power j omega ct. Then here also minus j kf means j square into j cube. So minus similar that way we explain here. But since kf and a of t both are real parts, because a of t is the real, because it is the integral part of the our message signal. A of t also AFT may be in the along with J, it is the imaginary part, but AFT is the AFT is a real part, because it is the integral part of the message signal. It is the function of the message signal, and since real part of the e power j omega ct is cos omega ct, so the real part of the j into e power j omega ct is minus sin omega ct. You just remember these relations. This is the important relations in exponential form. What is the real part of e power j omega ct? Means cos omega ct. Okay, because we consider only real parts, and the real part of the j into e power j omega ct, here j are present. Okay, here also j are present. That's why the real part of j into e power j omega ct terms are minus sign terms. Okay, you just once again go through the mathematical expressions carefully, then only we clearly understand this. So using this here, by comparing these two relations, the coming equation is just mm, observe e power j omega ct is equal to cos omega ct, and here the j and here the e power j omega ct. That real part consider only sin terms. Okay, you just remember that in that place. Here again we treat it as cos, but here we we treat it as sin. You just observe in next. So the gm of t, the real part of the g cap gm of t equal to finally this equation. What is the raised to cos omega ct minus kf a of t sin omega ct minus sin omega ct minus k square a of t a square of t 2 factorial cos omega ct. Here also sin omega ct, because sin cos sin and cos sin cos, because j into e power j omega ct is equal to minus sin omega ct, e power j omega ct is equal to cos omega ct. So for the narrow band fm, in this the continuously you just observe this and so on, because we treated it as by applying the Fourier transform by this equation. It's just like a into cos omega ct plus kf AC by 2 cos omega c plus omega m minus kf a cos a by 2 cos omega c minus omega m, and so on. And next 2 omega c minus 2 omega m, and so on. Okay, in this way the first terms kf into a of t equal to the modulation index, the deviation is less than 1 or equal to less than 1 or equal to 1. This assumption will result in making all terms with powers of kf into a of t the greater than 1 to be small compared to the first two terms. So the following reasonable approximation gm of t means 1 minute equal to like that. Okay, by conclusion we clearly states that the first two terms, you just understand the first terms called as narrow band fm. Okay, the remaining continuously produces the side bands. Okay, this equation just we transfer into the frequency domain representation. These are I already told. I try to write that equation for frequency domain description. This equation like this: a into cos omega ct plus kf is a by 2, here is a by 2, whatever it is may be, cos omega c plus omega m minus kf a by 2 or cos omega c minus omega m, and so on. 2 omega c plus 2 omega m, 2 omega c minus 2 omega m, and 3 4 and so on. That's why the remaining all are considered as wideband fm, wbfm. Okay, the first terms only the modulation index is less than 1, that's why that is called nbfm, narrow band fm. Okay, I hope understand this concept. This is the spectrum analysis of the FM wave. Using this spectrum only we decided the what is narrow band and what is wide band. The narrow band FM, what is the narrow band FM? The narrow band FM is modulation index is less than unity. For the wideband FM, the modulation index is greater than unity. Just wait. Coming to conclusion. Coming to conclusion, the frequency spectrum of FM is like this, in form of frequency transform, using that equations. So that is not easy. It is very complex to analyze the bandwidth scenario or spectrum scenario of the FM. So here we already discussed the final conclusion like this. You just observe these terms. Different side bands continuously, it produces the different side bands. Okay. So the first term is the carrier term. The FM transmitter sends these terms also continuously, but we want to send whatever is required. So the first term is carrier form. The next, the infinite number of side bands. All terms except the first term are side bands. Only we already see first always carrier plus deviation occurs in the FM. That's why the carrier always fixed, that is always sent, and then the deviation of the frequency. So that produces the different side bands continuously. Okay. So the amplitude of the carrier and side bands of an J coefficient. So omega is equal to 2 pi fc to omega 2 pi fm. So in the place of omega c and omega m, we can use the fc and fm also. Already told. This is the spectrum. This is the spectrum diagram of the FM wave. You just observe this. Just observe this. This is the central line is the carrier frequency. The remaining fc plus fm, fc plus 2fm, fc plus 3fm, these are the upper side bands, infinite number of side bands. This is the lower side bands. Okay. In this way, the frequency spectrum, ideal frequency spectrum of the FM wave. Next, another important term, the bandwidth for the ideal frequency is the infinite. Okay. For the wideband FM, we can't able to say the bandwidth is like that. Okay. So there is the infinite number of sine waves it produces. That's why we can't say the bandwidth is whatever. What number of side bands we used depends upon that only we can say the bandwidth of the FM. Okay, so coming to the bandwidth of the FM wave frequencies, you just observe for the narrow band and a wide band. For the narrow band we can't tell, depends upon the side bands only we tell. Okay, for the narrow band, for the wide band, for the narrow band we somehow told. Okay, so you just observe the bandwidth of the FM. Frequency spectrum of the FM wave already shown. So but practically it is calculated based on the how many side bands have significant amplitudes. The simple method to calculate the bandwidth is, so bandwidth equal to 2fm into number of significant side bands, that is only. Okay, so with increase in modulation index, the number of significant side bands also increases. So I already told, modulation index less than the unity, it is considered as narrow band FM. Okay, it is greater than the unity, it is the wideband FM. Means the modulation index may increases, that increases cause the number of side bands. So side band also increases. So the second method to calculate the bandwidth is Carson rule. This is the simple and Carson. You just remember this 2fm into number of significant side bands. That is the bandwidth calculation of the FM wave. So another method is Carson rule. The Carson rule states that the bandwidth of the FM waves is twice the sum of deviation and highest modulating frequency. So FM equal to 2 into means twice the sum of deviation and highest modulating frequency. Sum of deviation and highest modulating frequency. So some what is the deviation indicated by delta plus maximum modulating frequency. It means the message signal, maximum frequency of the message signal. So 2 into delta plus FM maximum. So higher order sideband to be found after the calculation of the modular induction M equal to delta by FM. So for example, modulating frequency 20 kilohertz. Your the modulation index is 4, highest order sideband is 7, therefore bandwidth is 2 into FM. It means FM is 5 kilohertz into 7, 70 kilohertz. In this way, bandwidth calculation done using the first method. Okay, this is the Carson rule second method. I hope understand this class. Thank you.